So I lost $10.2 million from 2016 to 2024. I was mainly a sports bettor, but I was also a casino bettor as well. If there were lines for cockroaches running across the floor over there, I'd fucking bet on it. The prediction market is predatory. It's too accessible. The fact that you can gamble on pretty much anything on those things, and it's a gamble, right? I can go bet on the Thunder game tonight on the prediction market. I can go bet on the Thunder or the Spurs to win. That's fucking gambling. There's no limit. There's no limit. I can wire into my FanDuel account every penny to my name and I can blow it all. It's too accessible. It's too easy to enter, and there's no guardrails on protecting people.
Welcome to The Big Skinny with Lou Basenese, where we serve up everything 111. One headline that you should probably ignore because the consensus often gets it wrong. One chart you should absolutely pay attention to because the data seldom lies. And one insight that you can take home to improve your life and your bottom line. And today, it's going to be a unique one because I am thrilled to have with me Louis Ruggiero, who goes by LJ. I also go by LJ. So we met in the studio here, man. Welcome to The Big Skinny.
Thank you so much for having me.
Listen, I told you yesterday, I ran into you in the lobby and said, this is the episode I'm the most scared and excited about because I am a huge fan of your podcast, Nothing is Off Limits. Nothing's off the table.
Nothing's off the table.
Yeah, I should probably fucking read it off your hat.
It's all good. It's all good. I know it's been a long day for you.
You had the double espresso. I didn't. But I'm a huge fan because what I think you're doing God's work, man. Like literally, you're being vulnerable in a world that usually trashes people that are getting vulnerable. And you're doing it in a way to help tons of other people. Your story is all about gambling addiction. And I think there's a huge connection to what's going on in the financial markets. And I want to talk about that if you think it makes sense.
Let's run it, bro.
So there's this headline out. I got to read it verbatim. It was talking about the prediction markets are a great innovation. So let's not be so hasty to bash them. $60 billion right so far this year has been bet on Kalshi and Polymarket. Illegal trading scams everywhere, which is, the fix is in gambling markets too. What do you make of this? Because you've, and then, opine on all your personal experience too with gambling. Because I think this is just legitimatized gambling.
So I'll give you a very quick, let's say 3 or 4 minute synopsis on my gambling story. So I'm sober from drugs and alcohol for 3.5 years.
Awesome, man.
Took me 10 years to get 1 year sober. And I'm sober from gambling almost 18 months. And it took me 12 years to get to stop longer than 30 days.
Yeah. That in itself is a huge milestone because you and I connect because my brother, 15-year addict, all different types of drugs, in and out of rehabs, and it just didn't stick. He relapsed and died. So yeah, and that's unfortunately the most severe consequence of this disease. Second most severe is prison. So I lost $10.2 million from 2016 to 2024. I was mainly a sports bettor, but I was also a casino bettor as well. If there were lines for cockroaches running across the floor over there, I'd fucking bet on it. Come on, dude. So talk about that because most people are like, oh, you bet it's basketball playoffs now. I'll bet on that. And then what does it lead to? Like middle of the night, you're betting on.
For me, I had a very successful ticket business, concierge company back in 2016. And I went from $20 in my checking account to my first deal ever. I made $400,000 profit.
Holy cow.
And, I went to Vegas one weekend for the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather fight. Yeah. And I lost $50,000 in the weekend. And my friend said, yo, go talk to a casino host. You get your room comped. I paid $8,000 for the suite for the weekend. Went to casino host. He comped me everything. He said, listen, next time you want to come, you call me. So I get back to LA. I was living in LA at this time. I text him. I said, hey, I want to come back next weekend. Yeah. So all right, I'll set you up. Gives me the salon suite for free, which is like a 2,500 square foot, beautiful Wynn suite. Free dinners at SW Steakhouse. All you gotta do is pay tax and tip. And I went back, tested the theory, ran up a $7,000 bill at SW Steakhouse. It was just tax and tip. Oh. And I lost.
As a finance guy, I'm trying to do the math on that. Tax and tip is $7,000, so the bill must have been ridiculous.
No, the bill was $7,000. Okay. All I paid was tax and tip. Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna test this dude. I was ordering caviar, crab legs,
one bottle, bring 10.
Wagyu, and I lost. I think my first weekend there, I lost like over $150,000, something crazy. And what happened is that they basically made it fun to lose money. They gave me, they picked me up from the airport with an Escalade and a Rolls Royce. They gave me the suite. They gave me the dinners. They gave me the tables at Excess, the tables at Encore Beach Club. And I got hooked. And During that time, I also had a bookie back in LA. So I'd be losing, you know, 100,000 with the bookie back in LA, and I'd be losing another 100,000+ in Vegas at the tables. So my gambling continued to progress because I made more money. I always had money coming in to wash away the losses and fix it. And I was constantly just recycling clients' money from a new order for the old order, new order for the old order. And then what happened was COVID came, wiped out my business. And that's really when the jam started. And that's really when like I was gambling with money I didn't have, and the holes and the disease really took its grip on me because I wanted to stop and I couldn't. And what happened was when I started gambling, my bets were $100 a bet. And by the time my COVID came, I wasn't betting anything less than 10, 20, 30,000 a game.
Yeah.
And then when I was playing blackjack, I wasn't playing anything less than 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 a hand.
Yeah.
So for me, I got really lucky. I owed someone 27 grand. I'm currently in the hole, a little over 800 grand with my creditors. I'm on a 10-year payment plan. But I had a friend who I owed 27 grand to, a family friend.
Yeah.
And he called me and he said to me, I know you're not drinking and drugging, but I know you're fucking gambling. And if you don't get honest with me right now, I'm going to send you to prison. And
wow. So
that was my last week. And Lou, that whole week I was praying, please give me an out or let me hit a bet. Some switch went off in my head and I said, this is your out. This is your one chance to get honest.
Yeah. And
that was it. I got honest about everything. 12 years, lies. I owe this person, I owe that person. This is all a lie.
Who did you have to get honest with? Who
I got honest with this guy.
Okay.
And he basically was like, all right, let's call your mom. I'm like, no, please. I shouldn't have a fucking stroke.
Yeah.
My mom had already bailed me out $2 million over that 8-year run. And, I got my wife on the phone. I got my sister on the phone, and you know, both of them were devastated. But my wife luckily stuck by my side, and my sister was kind of just like trying to be the strength and like, we're gonna get through this. We'll figure it out. And that was it, man. I started my journey in Gamblers Anonymous 3 days later, and haven't looked back.
So 18 months, haven't looked back. What do you see? Because I always think about my brother. We'd talk about like, where he was drugging was always a trigger for him, right? Like you put him back in that environment and it's near impossible not to, you know, just realize like the temptation's tremendous. You see all this gambling happening now in the markets. It's like, it's every day people, right? Like you were talking about, like I remember coming in college, we had bookies and it was like $50 here, $100 there. And it was on trust. Now it's on your phone, man, like everything.
So this is my issue, and I'm going to get into the prediction market stuff. So when, as an alcoholic or a drug addict, right, you don't have Heineken calling you saying, hey, Lou, you weren't drinking all weekend, brother. How about I comp you a free 6-pack?
Yeah. Here's some Natty Light Ice.
So part of what kept me in were these casino hosts and these VIP programs. And I had a VIP host at FanDuel and a VIP host at Caesar Sportsbook, and I'd get, you know, front row seats to the Knicks or front row seats to the Yankees. And if I lost, you know, 50 grand in a weekend, they'd load up my account with a $10,000 free play and all this stuff to keep you going. And so it's on your phone. You can deposit your whole bank account in 5 clicks.
Yep.
You watch sports. It's every commercial. You watch live sports. There's lines on the bottom of the screen. And it's just in your face. That's my problem with the marketing and the advertising of it. Now, the issue with the prediction markets is this, right? And I've been going at the CEO of Kalshi on LinkedIn a lot recently. My issue with him is this. If it's not a gambling app, why are you allowed to self-exclude?
Yeah.
If it's not a gambling app, why do you have a VIP program like sportsbooks do? Like casinos do? Why are you giving your biggest bettors? Why are you asking your biggest bettors on your prediction apps who their favorite sports teams are so you can take them to games? They don't do that in the fucking stock market.
No, dude, they don't. In fact, there's strict rules against that. Accepting gifts, there's certain limits. You can't do those things. So,
and by the way, prediction market. I can go bet on the Thunder game tonight on the prediction market. I can go bet on the Thunder or the Spurs to win. That's fucking gambling.
I agree.
Why are we allowed to gamble on if the the supreme leader of Iran is going to be in office or not by next Friday.
Yeah. Or the guy that you saw, like the temperature in the Paris airport, and he sat there with a blow dryer to manipulate the market and get paid off.
Honestly, it is, it's a sham.
Agreed.
It's a sham.
So what makes it end? Because I made a prediction. We do predictions on the markets this year, and I said prediction markets are going to explode, implode, and like the data's coming out. It's recruiting a lot of Gen Zs, millennials.
Yeah.
And like 0.1% is winning, right?
Correct.
The rest of the money goes to the house in this case. They're generating over $16 billion in revenue. So it is gambling. I mean, where does it come? Like if you're fighting the CEO of Kalshi publicly, calling him out, where do you think the rubber hits the road where they have to face the music for what they're doing?
The answer to that is twofold, right? And the first thing is you shouldn't be allowed to bet on sports on a prediction market. You shouldn't be allowed to bet on things that there could potentially be people who have insider information on.
Yep.
The same way it's somehow allowed, but like Nancy Pelosi, let's look at Nancy Pelosi. Her salary's what, a quarter a year?
Yeah. Best performing hedge fund manager in existence.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of things that are fucked up, but the prediction market is predatory. Yeah. It's too accessible. The fact that you can gamble on pretty much anything on those things, and it's a gamble, right? Gambling, there's a little yellow book we have in Gamblers Anonymous, and it says gambling is any betting or wagering on self or others where the outcome is dependent upon chance or whether for money or not, where the outcome depends upon chance or skill constitutes gambling.
Absolutely.
Everything you're putting money on, Kalshi, constitutes chance or skill. That is gambling.
Yeah.
What's going to wind up happening, and it's going to, my opinion, it's going to get a lot worse before it gets a lot better. The same thing we saw with Purdue Pharma and OxyContin.
Oh, dude, absolutely.
They labeled it as pain-free life, happiness, get your joy back, you can work again, all these things, right? What you have now is gambling is fun. Do it with your boys.
Yeah.
Create a leg. Bet on this, bet on that.
Yeah. Look at this guy who hit a 6-leg parlay.
Correct.
$500 into 50,000.
What you're going to have is severe consequences. And the first consequence is, by the way, gambling has the highest suicidal ideation rate of any addiction.
Really?
Yes, it does. And you're going to have, unfortunately, what's going to have to happen is either someone very rich and powerful's son, brother, father, cousin, whatever, is going to, I hate to say this, kill himself from gambling or end up in prison because of gambling. And then what the other side of things that's going to happen is you will see 100%, you will see a reflection of these gambling prediction markets, sports books, casinos. You will see a reflection of that on the economy. I'm not saying it's going to happen today, but you will see higher foreclosure rates, higher credit card debts, collections, judgments, civil suits. And by the way, just like drug and alcohol addiction does not discriminate whether you're a lawyer, a doctor, a janitor, whatever it is, you can be an addict. It's the same thing with gambling addiction. I know somebody who was a very prominent lawyer, and he was a personal injury attorney, and he stole all of his clients' money.
Oh man.
And he went to prison.
Yeah.
He went to prison. He was a very prominent, powerful guy, stole, tens of millions of dollars.
Well, like you said, it doesn't discriminate against. And I think the scariest thing for me is the people that have means, right? Continual income, high level earners can cover up the addiction for years until something bad happens. And I think you put your finger on it. You talked about, and I'm curious why you think the suicidal ideation is the highest for gambling. Is it because there's other people involved? You have debts to, like, the tentacles expand versus like drug and alcohol, right? The primary impact is on you, right? You're poisoning yourself. The disease is internally right. Gambling, though, you're borrowing money from other people, so they're feeling the pain too. So two things, right? And I tell people this all the time. Gambling is so insidious. You can hide it so easily. Yeah, I can come in here right now. I'm drunk or high. You're gonna look at me and be like, "Dude, what's going on, man? Yeah. You okay?" Yeah. I can come in here right now, sober, and I could have $1 million on the game tonight. My life could be riding on this game tonight, and you'd have no idea. And the other part I tell people is,
it's not humanly possible for me to sniff $100,000 worth of cocaine in one night. It's just not.
But there's no limit.
There's no limit. There's no limit. I can wire into my FanDuel account every penny to my name and I can blow it all. And there's no blockages or stoppages on anything that'll say, oh my God, this Lou just wired in $500,000 to his FanDuel account. They don't do anything. Why is it that to get a house, you have to go through this massive financial underwriting? They basically look.
If you haven't noticed, we're all about all filling, zero fluff. And so is our email newsletter, where we deliver insights, one headline that you should probably ignore, one chart you should absolutely pay attention to, and one investment idea that you should follow to increase your bottom line right alongside ours. So if you're not signed up yet, go to thebigskinny.com, sign up for our newsletter. If you can't be bothered to give up your email address, that's okay. Give us a follow on Twitter or on YouTube so you never miss another episode.
Every nook and cranny into your life to get a fucking loan to buy a house for your family. But you want to gamble.
Yeah.
Dude, deposit as much as you want.
Yeah.
Cool off limits. All these things that are bullshit. And by the way, Vegas is built off of losers. It's not built off of winners.
Exactly.
And these apps and the prediction markets, they're scientifically, just like casinos, they're scientifically built to addict you. They're built to hook you in.
Well, it's like social media too, right?
Correct.
And then my biggest thing is I see all of this happening. Everything in life now has become, it's about reducing friction, making it easier. And you want food right now? Dude, let's order whatever the hell we want. We've got DoorDash and Grubhub. And this is just the same way. You're 2-3 clicks away from gambling and then it gets out of control. How do you, I guess the thing is, I don't want to sit here and bash nonstop. I think it's necessary, right? Like someone has to, you got to be outspoken about it. What helped you hit bottom and say, like, I'm done? Were there things along the way?
Kill myself.
Really?
I was ready to kill myself with a 10-month-old baby and a fiance. And I had a plan of where I was going to go, where I was going to do it. And the debt and the financial pressure and the financial mess that I had created for myself, the pressure was so immense and you feel so alone. You feel so isolated. You feel like you can't talk to anybody, right? Yeah. And there's so many things out there to keep you gambling and to make, glamorize and sexualize gambling as this cool, fun thing. And there's really nothing out there to glamorize and show that there is recovery for people like us. And no one wakes up. I didn't wake up and grow up and say, you know what, Lou, when I'm older, I want to be a fucking raging drug addict and degenerate gambler.
I'm laughing at the way you're putting it, right?
Yeah.
Right. Like no one said, and I think it's an important distinction. You've said it from the get-go. This is a disease. It's now scientifically proven, genetically predisposition to different types of addiction. It is truly a disease. It's not something that you fucked up somewhere along the way. Like this is something just like you'd get some other disease, right?
Correct.
Like if I got cancer, it's not because I'm a degenerate and I did something wrong. It's I got a disease. And I think there's a social stigma that thinks like, well, you're just a gambling addict. You were because you just don't have any self-control. And you did drugs. And like that was the hardest thing for me to realize with my brother is like, wait a minute, this isn't just him having fun and partying, which he was a fun, charismatic guy. He physically can't because he's got a condition that won't let him stop. And
I want to make this clear, right? I'm not anti-gambling. I'm not anti-drinking. I'm not anti-drugging, right? I have plenty of friends and family members who are able to go out on a Friday night, have a couple drinks and not touch it again until the following Friday or months or weeks or days, whatever the case is. And I have a friend who's worth a couple $1 million and he'll bet like $500 on the Super Bowl. And I'm like, dude, you're worth like $7 million. You got fucking 500. What are you, a 12-year-old?
Yeah.
He's like, no, I don't like losing money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the addict in me that makes me different than the normal person. So
what was it? It wasn't the fear of losing money. It was the potential high, the dopamine hit of like hitting a big win.
I mean, dude, I've turned 30 grand into $500,000 in blackjack in like a 6-hour run. I bet 65,000 on the Super Bowl plus 144 to win back 160 grand when Tom Brady was on the Bucks his first year and they played the Chiefs.
Yeah.
They spanked them 31-9. Yeah, I put 65 grand cash on that FanDuel. I walked into FanDuel with a bag full of fucking money. I'll show you the video. I have a bag full of cash.
I want to say this is insane, but I'm also trying to temper it with like, I started out in the markets the same way as you did with gambling, right? Like I'll put $100 into this stock. 100 turns into 1,000. 1,000 turns into 10,000, and you get some success in winning. And like, yeah, hey, I'm investing in real businesses. It's not a binary. Does this happen or not happen? But then you get in positions where I have 300,000-400,000 in thing. I'm going through a divorce, and COVID hits, and like the whole market gets wiped out. And like, so it's not dissimilar. So that's why I think you said it was so insidious, because I think all aspects of life now are starting to open up doors to make addictive disease spread, is a way to put it. I mean, do you disagree with that? Or
no, I completely agree with it. And it's like, for me, how is a 26-year-old, at the time I was 26, how is a 26-year-old able to walk into FanDuel with a bag full of 65 grand in cash and just put it on the Super Bowl? Like,
where'd you get the cash from? Did you go to the bank?
Dude, it was during COVID. I was doing wild shit during that time to get cash, man. I don't know what the statute of limitations are, but I'll just leave it at that. I'll leave it at that, dude.
Among Italians, there is no statute of limitations.
I know,
so I tell people I'm Italian, so I know how to keep a secret. I know what happens if you don't keep a secret.
Yeah. But I mean, my issue is not the gambling. My issue is the predatory marketing. My issue is our senators and our government have completely opened the floodgates with no guardrails to anybody's safety. And really who suffers, and I hate to say it like this, but gambling is a tax on the poor.
Yeah.
Gambling
lottery.
Yeah, dude. Gambling is a tax on the people who don't have an extra $100, $200, $300, $400, $500 a week to be blowing on gambling. And they're throwing away way more than that because they have this notion, right? Gambling is the disease where you could win.
Yeah.
And that's the lie that it tells you. It's the same thing as prediction market, right? You go on the prediction market and it's like, is Trump going to say the word huge 10 times during his State of the Union? It sounds
ridiculous when you say it out loud, right?
Why are we allowed to gamble on that?
I agree. Well, you brought up the legal side, right? And the senators should be, Congress should be against this.
They're not.
In 2018, they started legalizing sports betting, right? And what happened? That year, we had some states that allowed it. We went from like 430 million that was generated in revenue to last year, 16 billion in revenue. That means like over 100 billion was bet. So like we're legally saying it's okay. It's like our parents saying like, here's drugs, kids, go do them.
So that's right. That's the issue. Is the money is so massive for our states and our government. And you look back 10 years, you could find videos of Roger Goodell and Adam Silver and all of these different commissioners saying, gambling will never be a part of sports. Gambling will never be legal. It's going to ruin the integrity of the game, and it's going to ruin lives. And you fast forward 10 years later, and NFL is the biggest partner of FanDuel. DraftKings is the biggest partner of the NBA. And you have players like Terry Rozier getting caught up with throwing games. You have college athletes getting caught up throwing games. It's too accessible. It's too easy to enter, and there's no guardrails on protecting people. And the flip side of it is you have a drug or alcohol addiction, you have health insurance. You can go to a multitude of treatment centers and your health insurance will cover your stay. Gambling is not classified as a mental health disorder yet with the health insurance companies.
Really? I didn't realize that.
So if I'm a gambling addict, strictly gambling addict, I can't go to rehab for treatment, and health insurance won't cover it.
So when you decided to enter rehab, did you go for drugs because that's what was funded for, and then you had to go to Gamblers Anonymous for help on the gambling side?
My last time I went to rehab was 2016.
Okay.
And then all the other times I had been, before that period of time, I had been 6, 7, 8 treatment centers. So after that point, I knew that the only thing that would keep me sober or keep me from gambling was an AA or a GA program.
Yeah.
No, right. Treatment centers are great. I think they do a lot of good work there, but you're locked in a fishbowl for 30 days.
Yeah.
So it's real easy to stay sober when there's a roof over your head, you got a warm bed, you got warm food, and you have therapy all day. But once you get thrown back into your environment, it's like, what tools have I been equipped with to handle these triggers and to deal with life gets big. You get a job, you have a family, you have kids, stress, financial stress, this and that. It's to say to anyone watching right now, recovery for anybody is free. It's available free of charge 24/7. There's online Gamblers Anonymous Zoom meetings. There's online Alcoholics Anonymous Zoom meetings. If you're in New York City, there's a AA meeting every 15 minutes in the 5 boroughs.
That's amazing.
So treatment is great, but at the end of the day, recovery, once you cross that invisible line, you become an addict, recovery is a daily reprieve. I got to do a little bit of work every single day to stay sober. And
it's accountability. So I guess I think that's where I wanted to pivot to too. Some is like, so much has to start from the top, the structural changes to take away the predatory lending, marketing, all of that stuff. But from the bottom up, there's a message of hope. You're the living example of it. And your podcast has, dozens, if not hundreds of examples now, coming along the way. What does it look like? What's the insight that you can give if people listening are, gambling addicts or struggling with drug or alcohol addiction, or if you're a family member, like how do you notice the signs, and then how can you be of help, or are you helpless until the person finds something that triggers them to get the help?
So rock bottom looks different for everybody. And it's up to the addict and the addict themselves to finally surrender and wave that white flag and say, hey, I need help.
Yeah.
But if you are struggling, you're not alone. Everything that you think you've done, that you say to yourself, there's no way someone was as big of a piece of shit as I am. If you go to any meeting, you'll find someone who did just as bad as you, sometimes 10 times worse as you, and maybe sometimes not as bad as you.
Yeah.
But the underlying theme is that we're not alone in this. There are other addicts who have suffered from drug, alcohol, and gambling addiction. And thankfully, there are other addicts who have recovered.
Yeah.
And recovery is, staying sober, staying abstinent from gambling, but also for me, I had to change my way of thinking and living.
In what ways?
Well, as a compulsive gambler, I was also a compulsive liar. And so, granted, I was lying about everything because I had to cover my tracks.
Right.
And once I stopped gambling, I said to myself, that's it, I'm done lying. I'm not going to lie about anything. Whether it hurts their feelings or not, I'm not lying about anything anymore. I can't live. The lies, they say you're only as sick as your secrets.
I like that.
And that's what it was for me. So if you're watching, just call your best friend, call your mom, call your dad, and just say, hey, look, I need help. I'm really struggling. This is what's going on. I don't want to live like this anymore. 9 times out of 10, that person is going to say, let's get you some help.
Holy shit, let me help.
Yeah, let me get you some help. And the other thing I want to talk to you about, because you're a finance guy.
I'm scared now. See, this is where the nervousness comes up.
No.
You're going to flip the script on me.
Tell me about what you think about this. You're a finance guy, right? When you go buy a house, they do a financial underwriting of you. They see your salary, your income, your assets, liabilities, everything. Why is there not a program where if I want to gamble on any of the legal apps, FanDuel, DraftKings, Sportsbook, Kalshi, Polymarket, I have to download this separate app or go through this separate company, and they do a financial underwriting of you. And they say, okay, Lou, you make $500 a year. Your house is, your mortgage is $100, $100 a year, yada, yada, yada. And they take all of this piece of information. They say the most you are allowed to gamble a year is $60. So for the year, you can only wager $60 maximum across all of the online apps and casinos. I'm sure they wouldn't like that because, listen, drug dealers make the most money off the addicts. They don't make money off the guy buying blow on New Year's Eve and his birthday.
For the one time, They
make money off the guys buying drugs every day. And the same thing for the casinos and the sports books.
So my answer to that question is they 1000% should do that. Here's why, but I'll give you the why, but the first part of it is they're never going to do it because it makes too much fucking sense.
Yeah, I know.
Common sense is not that common anymore. And embedded power and politicians don't want to lose their power. And that would be so unpopular. But here's why I say it makes perfect sense. For opening a trading account, right? You got to supply, basically answer questionnaires. If you want to go and trade options and get more speculative with things and get lines of credit, you have to do these background checks. If you want to buy, more risky investments, you have to attest that you have experience. And so there is that level of oversight. And if they just got rid of one of the rules, but if you were like a compulsive day trader and you were just churning, you had to have an account balance of over 25,000. Otherwise you weren't allowed to do it. So they put in the mechanisms there because these are real world assets that they don't want people to default on. But a prediction market, right? If someone loses money on President Trump said huge 9 times versus 10 and someone makes it, nothing in the real world changes, right? someone's house didn't get foreclosed on, someone's stock didn't, company didn't go bankrupt. So I think it absolutely should be done, but will it ever happen? I doubt it.
This is the thing though, right? Houses will be foreclosed on. Companies will be gambled away.
Yeah. So you're saying the ability and the access to gambling is going to come on and impact the real world, which I agree, because we saw it 100% with crypto, right? Like, this is my biggest thing on crypto. You can use 40 to 50 times leverage. I mean, think about that. $10 and multiply it by 40 to 50 times is money you don't have. If the market goes against you, you get wiped out. I mean, we saw it with these Bitcoin collapses. Like, thousands of people went from multi-million-dollar accounts to literally zero.
Yeah.
Which then, to your point, now you can't pay your mortgage. Now you can't put your kids in school. Now you can't put food on the table. So I guess, you've interviewed how many people so far that have various, and not just, don't isolate it to just gambling, but just all types of addictions that are in recovery and succeeding. I guess my question is
over 100 now.
Over 100 now.
Yeah.
What's one common thread that surprised you about all these stories that you've heard? Because I'm addicted to the podcast, because I'll sit down and be doing something. I'll listen to one episode. I'm like, fuck, I got to listen to the next one. And then I'm like, I just lost 3 hours, but I have it over here on my screen while I'm working on my podcast stuff. Yeah. So, but what's one thing that's just like totally unexpected as you've gone down this journey to kind of shed a light on and hope for other people?
I think twofold, right? I think the first thing is that, as gnarly as my story is, I've heard stories that are even worse. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That guy was at the bottom of the barrel, and that guy lost literally everything, and that guy was homeless, and now this guy's sitting in front of me and making $500,000 a year and has a wife and has a kid and all this stuff. So I think the first part of it is that I was so surprised to hear how willing people were to come on my show and be open and honest about the worst, most vulnerable, most horrific times of their life, but yet sit in this chair and say to the camera, like, you can go through whatever I just went through, and all you have to do is A, B, and C, and your life will get better. Not it may get better, it will get better. And I think that's been providing that hope has been honestly the best feeling in the world, and the most fulfilling thing about the podcast. I also think that me putting my shit out there and going on the gram and saying, yo, I still owe out fucking $800,000 and I'm on a 10-year payment plan, and I, call my creditors, and that whole process. What's happened is, dude, let's just say I get 20 messages a day. 18 of them are from gamblers who are suffering. 2 of them are substance abuse. The access to help for substance abuse is great. It's incredible. It's amazing. I'm so happy.
Interesting. So you're seeing it in the outreach to you. The response rates are indicative of where the gaps in assistance is.
The gambling and prediction markets. A lot of kids are betting on prediction markets. A lot of kids are betting on prediction markets because they don't think it's gambling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you said, it's great marketing, right? They're convincing people that you're having fun. Start up a pool with your buddies. You just jogged my mind about, like, how important is community, right? You're talking about sharing.
The most.
Is that the glue that helps keep recovery going? I mean, what's sustained? You have a wife now, 2 children?
1 child.
And 1 on the way? Another one?
We're working on it.
Awesome. Practice is fun.
Yeah. Yes, it is. I love how adults will be like, they're like, when are you having another one? And I'm like, I'm working on it. And they're like, oh yeah, nice. Keep going.
Well, dude, I have 4, hopefully 5 at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. But yeah, aside from the obvious things, right? Like my wife, my kids eventually.
Yeah.
What sustains you? What keeps you going, man? Because I met you from day one. You may not know this. I don't know if people tell you this. You have an energy about you that is an encouragement and positive, charismatic, and you're just a straight shooter from the jump. And that is something that just resonates with other people. So for me, but how do you maintain that knowing you went through all this and you hear heavy shit all the time?
So I was petrified of putting my shit out there in the beginning.
Yeah.
And someone told me, my friend Kevin said, you got to lay it all out there. If it doesn't get received well, then like, it's all good, dude. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'm going to give it a go. And as I kept laying my story out there, more people, like you said, were like, dude, holy shit, like I'm in the same spot. Like I feel the same way you do. I haven't lost as much money, or I've lost more money.
Yeah.
But like the same exact feelings you're talking about, I have. And to go back to your question on community, right? Like I went from having a bunch of friends who were degenerate gamblers and partiers. And when I got into recovery, I threw myself in the middle of the room and I made my community people who are in recovery. And like, by the way, like a lot of guys in recovery were the guys I would hang out with at the bar or hang out with at the casino who now don't do that. And now are like big finance guys, you know, big, successful people. And the underlying theme we all share is that we don't drink, drug, or gamble. And we have that relationship and that bonds that we went to the depths of hell and we made it out. And now it's our mission to keep each other accountable on not necessarily not gambling, drinking, or drugging anymore, right? But being honest, being accountable, moving with integrity, being a man of your word. You say you're going to show up at 4:00, you be there at 3:55. Those little things that keep us free from shame and guilt, right? Living in addiction is like, oh, dude, it's just a constant cycle of shame, guilt, resentment, anger. And I don't want to live like that anymore. Those are the core feelings that drove me to gamble. Those are the core feelings that drove me to drink and drugs. So I think a community in recovery, which by the way, recovery is so much fun, dude. I'm having more fun now, sober and not gambling than I ever did drunk, high, or gambling. I
love to hear that, man. That's an amazing testimony to it.
By the way, I used to try to plot on how at my wedding I was going to not get too coked out too early so that I wasn't walking around my wedding like, and like, I was like, okay, I also need to make sure I don't gamble on my wedding night because then I'm going to be walking around on my wedding night like this, checking scores or watching a game.
Right.
Fast forward
to did you get married before you got into recovery?
I got married March 6th.
Okay.
Fast forward to my wedding. 6 out of 7 of my groomsmen are sober and in recovery.
I love it, man.
And I'm sober 3.5 years. I'm without a bet for 1.5 years. And it was the best night of my life. It was the best night of my life. And today, sitting here, I have more freedom and more joy and more happiness than I think I've ever had in my entire 32 years of existence. I firmly believe that. I can't tell you, I don't remember the last time I went to bed and woke up as excited as I do today. And that's just a result of working a program of recovery.
I mean, I have to hold back getting choked up because I think about my brother, right? It's the easiest corollary. But then I think about all the other people that haven't made that step, that haven't hit their rock bottom. And like seeing you is like, that's available to them. You said it, it's free. Recovery is free to everyone. So fast forward 10 years from now, what does life look like? What does success look like to you? What are you doing? How are you helping people? How do you redefine, because I got to imagine, look, I've been in IRS debt up to my eyeballs and, going through divorce and dark moments where you're like, dude, I don't even know where tomorrow is. I can't think about 5-10 years from now, but now you have hope restored. Like you're an encouragement. What does it look like down the road?
Well, I hope that, FanDuel doesn't Epstein me in the next 10 years.
We got to Epstein Hillary Clinton and the Clintons, and then maybe we'll be all right.
Yeah. So if anything does happen to me in the next 10 years, it's all FanDuel's fault, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
And in all seriousness, in 10 years from now, I hope
we got to cut this. That's it. I might get knocked off by guilt by association.
Yeah, exactly.
No, just kidding.
I think in 10 years from now, I'd love the podcast to be rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
But more importantly, my goal in the next 18 months is to start opening up treatment houses, specifically for gambling. And hopefully in 10 years, man, I'm like one of the top faces, top leaders in the fight against gambling and the top leader and the top face of gambling recovery. And
would you ever get into politics to try and help change the regulation?
Dude, I want to go in front of the fucking Senate and rip these motherfuckers a new asshole today.
Some people just won't show up, man, because they know they got it coming double barreled.
I don't care. I'll curse. I don't care. They can blast me all they want. I'm ready to go for that. Whenever that opportunity presents itself.
Yeah.
I will be sleeping on the steps before that courthouse opens.
I think the best thing about that opportunity when it comes up, what they won't know is that you've been just steadily getting reps and practice with every podcast that you do. It's like being in the gym, right? Like consistency compounds. How do you get a gambling addiction center business out of the ground? Like, what does that look like? What do you need for that? I mean, because look, we're a finance thing. We don't know who could be on the other side of this that says like, I have a family member, I'm an addict too, and now I'm super successful. You have not because you ask not, right? Like, what is it that you would need to get this out of the ground?
So for something that I want to do, I want to take like around a 20 to 30 bed facility. It depends on this. Different states have different regulations around licensing, but I would like to do something on the Northeast, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area. So for right now, it's pretty difficult to do the gambling stuff, financially speaking, because I can't take clients in and bill their health insurance for gambling.
Yep.
But my idea of it is to open up a substance abuse mental health facility with a gambling track, and I can scholarship maybe 10 gamblers a month free of charge, build up hopefully one of the best gambling programs in the country. And then in the next 5 years, when they finally approve insurance for gambling disorder,
and have more than one center,
I'll have the reputation and the business will come. But in that interim, I still have a facility where I'm taking in addicts for substance abuse and alcoholism and mental health, and I can bill their insurance. And my idea of this is never to get too big, and I'll tell you why. I want people to come there and feel like family. I want them to feel special. I want them to feel cared for and seen and loved and appreciated. I don't want them to be a metric. I don't want them to be a number. I don't want them to be a top line or bottom line figure to me. Do I want to make money? Yes, of course. But I think that, and I've said this a ton, as I've gotten bigger, I need to keep my ego checked at the door, and I need to keep my intentions pure. And my intentions of starting this podcast was to not make money. My intentions of starting this podcast was to help other people. And if I keep helping others first, I already know that God will take care of me more than I could ever possibly imagine. And that's where I'll leave it at that.
Amen to that. My dad always told me, he's like, if you focus on the money, you never make it.
Yep.
If you focus on what you're passionate about, all those things take care of themselves.
Yeah. And I'll keep you in the loop on that stuff. I
Please
know you know
do,
some people.
because look, I don't ever believe in coincidences, how we end up in the same podcast studio, where it leads 5, 10, 15 years from now. You just never know. You just don't. So I don't have anything else, man. I could talk for you for hours and pick your brain on this stuff. I'll leave it open to you. Any final words, questions of me? I appreciate you taking a chance, because I randomly like, hey, come on some finance dudes podcast.
Love it, bro. I'm open to anything. If you're still sick and suffering from any addiction, reach out. Whether it's me, whether it's a family member, sibling, you name it, reach out. You're not alone. You can't do this alone. And this is a recovery program of we, not me.
And who's the recovery center that you work with that is the sponsor that you work with?
I just started working with a treatment center called Right Choice Recovery out of Dayton, New Jersey. He has 2 houses, one for substance abuse and one for gambling.
And they have a website, I'm sure that people listening, you can
Right Choice Recovery. I think it's rightchoicerecoverynj.com or something like that. But you can also find me on Instagram, TikTok, at Nothing's Off Pod. My YouTube channel, Nothing's Off the Table. Email me, DM me. I do my best to answer everyone. And
so you always respond to me. Direction. Yeah, just don't forget us little people when you're slinging.
Same to you, bro.
Slinging guns at the senators. I just want to be a little fly on the wall, listening to them get what they deserve coming, man.
Oh, I can't wait to clip up that C-SPAN of me just ripping them to shreds, dude.
By then, hopefully C-SPAN's gone and it's like prime time, national Fox Media or something.
Yeah. So. Say Rosanna Scotto's son roid rages at senators. Gambling.
It was a peptide rage. It was totally legitimate. Robert Kennedy made it fine. Listen, again, thank you. You're an inspiration and encouragement. I know not just to me, but to like an audience of people that you probably don't even know. So don't quit, man. You didn't quit on yourself. Don't quit on what you're passionate about now.
Thanks, bro.
I don't know if that means anything, but
it does.
You mean a lot to me, even as a stranger that I just crossed paths with randomly. So I appreciate you and everything you're doing, brother.
Same to you, bro.
All right, man.
Let's
get those senators.
Yes, sir. Big Lou and Little Lou, we're out.
That's right.